Hello YouTube world, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a lovely Thanksgiving if you're in the US, and if you're not, well then I hope you had a lovely week. So this week we are shaking it up a bit and doing a reading journal entry for a YA coming of age book called Fresh by Margot Wood. And to be honest, I didn't love this book. The main character was a bit immature for my taste, but I read this book because I needed a break from my usual contemporary romances. So if you haven't heard of this book, it is about a girl named Elliot McHugh, and the story follows her through her first year in college. Like most first years, Elliot is nervous about starting college, leaving home for the first time, making new friends, and, well, just fitting in general. And honestly, that's kind of the whole theme of this book. Elliot is very focused on the social aspects of college. She doesn't know what she wants to major in, which is totally fine, but she also just doesn't seem to care too much about her education at all. Her RA, Rose, has to literally override her class schedule to get Elliot to take at least some serious courses. But Elliot spends most of the book flirting and sleeping around with many people at her school, and while there is a little bit of slut-shaming in the novel, the book is generally sex positive. And that's great, especially because Elliot is not your typical heterosexual female. So in this book, she sleeps with both men and women. But let me get into what I liked and didn't like about this book. So starting off with what I liked, first off was the writing style of this book. I wish I had read a physical copy of this book because the author uses footnotes to sort of interact with the reader. Like if she wants to expand on an inside joke or let you take a deeper look into Elliot's mind, she'll have some notes in the footnote section. So it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall where she's really talking to you as a reader. So reading the ebook version made it harder to flip back and forth between the main story and the footnotes. Second, I liked how in a lot of ways this book was realistic. So the description of the residence hall really took me back to my time at university, from the description of the blue plastic mattresses and the shared laundry room to the RA floor meeting in the common room. I was immediately remembering all of my experiences living in a residence hall my first year in university. Also, the role of both Elliot and her roommate Lucy's family was realistic in my opinion, because there really are two types of families. Elliot's, where only her dad was able to drop her off at college, and then Lucy's family, where all of her relatives were there to see where Lucy was going to be living. And I did like that Elliot had a good relationship with her family, particularly her sister, who she talks to every now and then throughout the book. But while the beginning of this book is realistic, the rest of the book is very unrealistic, in my opinion. So, like, maybe some people have gone to college and basically just wasted their time away having sex and constantly thinking about sex, but in reality, college is expensive, and if you're there, you better be making the most of what college has to offer in terms of both education, extracurriculars, and other school-sanctioned social activities. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun, go to parties, hook up with people if that's what you want, but there's no way that's all you're doing the entire year. Also, when Elliot gets an infection just by touching the bathroom shower wall or something like that, the bathrooms may be gross, but they don't get that gross where you'll get sick just by touching the wall. So yeah, I just couldn't connect with Elliot and her attitude towards life. Like, I'm all for taking the time to figure out what you want and not rushing into things, but why not actually go out and experience different things? Like join a club or go to a sporting event, hang out with people that you don't want to sleep with. But that's just my opinion. So overall, I gave this book 2.5 stars out of 5. And I was honestly glad the writing of the story made it easy to read so that I could breeze through the book, because if this story had dragged on, I probably would have DNF'd it. Okay, so on to my reading journal entry. I usually try to draw the title of the book similar to how it is on the actual cover of the book. So I tried blending the colors together similarly to how it is on the book cover, and I think it turned out all right. This was my first time using this Tombow blending marker, and I think I need more practice, but overall I'm happy with how it looks. So the other things I drew were a laundry machine and detergent, because Elliot and her sister love washing clothes. Weird, but fine. I also drew a red Solo cup and a condom to represent the partying that Elliot does. And then I drew a mouse at the bottom because there is a scene where Elliot finds a mouse in the residence hall's common room. And it's not that significant to the overall story, but it does lead to an important scene between Elliot and her RA. Now, there are two quotes that I really liked from this book. The first is from Elliot's dad in chapter 10, where he says, "Yes, you've made some bad choices, and chances are you have a few more ahead of you, but you have to at least start recognizing when you've made a bad choice and learn from it so you don't do it again." So yeah, wise advice from Mr. McHugh. And it's nothing groundbreaking, but definitely something that is always good to remember and something that Elliot definitely needed to hear. And the next quote I have is a short one from Elliot's RA Rose in chapter 16, where she says, "Commitment is being free, but choosing to stay." Now this quote is deep. I had never thought of commitment that way, and it really makes you stop and think about all the times that you've made a commitment to someone or something, because what we're saying is that it was your choice. You didn't have to do it, but you chose to do it. And just think of how flattering that is. So yeah, that was my reading journal entry, and I would love to hear what you guys have to think about it in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree with my review, or if you have any thoughts about my reading journal. You can see more of my other reading journal entries before this one on my Instagram page at Lauren_can_, which as always is linked in the description below. And if you liked this video, I'd appreciate it so much if you could like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my future book reviews. Alright, bye!